Thank you.
You are welcome. Okay, so we are recording too. Awesome. So we're excited to have Mary on. You guys, we wanted to have you do your reaction buttons, right? So you can celebrate, and you guys know how to wave on Zoom and all of that, and prepare with questions to ask her. She does want to make it interactive. We're going to start off recognizing great things that happened in January, and we're going to let Corbie take it away. We have combined units, right, tonight. So Corbie, would you like to start off with a little recognition?
Sure, I'm completely finished being prepared there. Okay, so in January, Shaylin has a new team member. She re-recruited Marlena, and Marlena came and qualified. So congratulations, Shaylin, for leading Marlena to come back to the products. And she loves her products because that's all personal use. She loves it. Mm-hmm. In January, our 600 consultants who hit their spark were Marlena, Demetra, Kara, and Jenny, and me. And then I'm looking at our, and I'm curious, did any of you guys already get and open up your earrings? Did any of you play with them? Yeah, they're fun. They're fun and different. I think they go well with that chunky necklace or matching something else there. But I was looking also at On Target Star. Let's see. Shaylin is on target with 99, let's see, we'll see what's in. 804 in. Jenny's on target with 755 in. Demetra is right behind her with 749 in. Oh, Shay, can you text Demetra so that she knows? Let's see. Kara 686 and Angela, Marlena, Mary Beth, and Robin are all close right behind there. So it feels good. On Target Star.
Awesome. And do you want, oh, go ahead, keep going.
I've not looked in all of the orders to see, that was what I didn't have time to finish, was looking in all the orders to see who's gotten clinical solutions yet. I know that Robin has hers on the way. Mary Beth has hers and started using it and is loving it. And it's really excited about the results there. These before and after pictures just speak for themselves. So I don't have to tell people much. They're just like, it does what? Yes, please. So loving that. And I have 3 more on the way, and my goal is to sell them before they get here.
Awesome. And do you want to share what you guys are excited about in February? We're excited for all the people who are key achievers and already on their clinical solutions for sure and start.
Yes, absolutely. So our goal this month is to track number of products sold, not wholesale, not orders that are going in, but the number of products sold, because nothing happens until somebody sells something. And we want consultants that are moving products and making money. So number of products sold for our unit, I was like, what do I pick as the number? So I'm gonna set the bar where I know we can hit it, and it's like, how fast can we hit it? And that'll give me kind of an idea of how to raise the bar moving forward. So right now I'm setting it at 250 products sold, and we'll see how fast as a unit we can hit that. To track it, we figure out what's the most efficient way. I'll check with one of my girlfriends that does this promotion also and see how she tracks it efficiently. But just number of products sold. It's not going to be on Facebook. It's going to be either in a Google Doc or just texting me and me tallying them as we go. But I'm excited.
That's a fun goal to chase for sure, because every time you sell a product, you know, every person who sells one product, you know, contributes to the goal. So that's yay. All right. And then I will do a little reco for our unit. So first, just for the week, thank you for turning in your week numbers. So Angie had a $238 week and ADIC $240. Queen by $2, baby. Woo woo. So way to go, ADIC. I love it. Y'all celebrate ADIC being the queen of sales this week. So exciting. So, and of course, that was 2 grand days. I think it was 2. I don't know if it was 2 clinical solutions. I think you did say 2 clinical solutions, right?
Yes.
So that's awesome. And then she also was tracking her IPA. So that was her grand days for 2. And then Angie had 7 IPAs. She is a beast about tracking hers and increasing them, and also had 2 heart to hearts. She's been doing those more regularly too. So congrats for great weeks. And then wrapping up great months, our 600 achievers were Christina Hilton, Angie Johnson, Whitney O'Brien, and Adic Smith. So congratulations to you guys for earning your earrings. And those are the same consultants plus Laura Morgan, who are on target for star with at least 600 right now. So I just went 600 and higher, but we've got you guys 6 weeks to go. Oh my gosh, 6 weeks, that's it to finish up star. But now we've got clinical solutions and we got a great track to run on. And I just thought too, it'd be fun to recognize the reds. So Darcy Miles, Amy Richmond, Angie Johnson, Laura Morgan, and Whitney O'Brien are all reds right now. So excited for our 5 reds. But super exciting is Darcy and Amy. They are reds with reds. So super excited about celebrating that. And then our unit, you guys. Okay, so we ran for interesting goals, but I loved it. It was so fun. 25 clinical solutions confident consultants. 25. First it was 15, then we hit 15, kind of like what Corbie was saying. Then like you hit the goal and you go, oh, how fast can we hit it? So I was like, wow, we hit it. Let's go for another. And I debated on going for 20 or 25. And I jumped to 25. And I'll just tell you, yesterday, like in the middle of the day, I was like, oh, maybe that was a big stretch. Maybe I should have said 20, because we were lingering at like 17. But oh my gosh, the consultant, y'all, you would have thought we were trying to finish 500,000 or something like we've done before. It was like a June 30th. I mean, I was texting people and helping them try to find the 2 quizzes and, it's not in yet. I thought it was, it's not, go back, and walking people through on the phone. It was so crazy here, but we did it. Oh my gosh, exactly 25 consultants. So that was super exciting. And then we launched a 1 month or a 1 day video to just launch and have people watch. And again, you guys, what I want y'all to hear me and Corbie saying is, we don't know the magic number to set the goal, but you gotta have something to chase, right? She's like, I think this is the number we're gonna chase for in items. So yesterday with our 1 day video launch, I was like, I thought it through, but then I didn't really know the magic number. So I said 300. I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna get 300 views in a day or not, but let's see. That would be awesome. We hit last night, when the last time I looked, it was 200. And I was like, I'm feeling good. Like Brian was asking and Todd was asking, and they're like 200 views in a day. That's awesome. So I was like, yay, we're celebrating. But then I woke up this morning, it was 250. But that gave me a ballpark. I said, okay, now I know when we're going to have something that we want everyone to see, 200, was great. Now we have a place to run with. So that was exciting. And I did ask Mary, since the month is closed, I said, okay, can you tell us where we are? Because, we're running to be number 1. And she said, well, there's on hold orders, which we know the on hold orders could change a lot of things. And so if on hold orders go through, we weren't number 1 for January, but they might not, who knows? We could still possibly be number 1. But the race for number 2 and number 3, she said, by $40, right? By $40 is kept us at least at number 2. Oh my gosh, do you guys think every order counts? That's 1 person ordering a clinical solution. 1 clinical solution set. That's a big deal. So I'm excited about that. So I don't actually have a number goal yet. I'm still trying to process and close out. And anyway, for February, but I know it's going to be parties and sharing focused, of sharing the love, right? So getting in front of faces again, and parties, we were doing that great in October and November, and just to get focused on that again. So I know when we see faces, everything changes. So that's going to be our focus. Okay, that was 10 minutes. Now we're going to hand it over to Mary. Let me take my pen off of me. Yay. Okay, so Mary is on, and we are so excited to hear from her. Oh, and I said we were going to do crows. Do you want me to save that for the end, Mary, or do you want to see people really quick?
I want to hear the crows.
Okay, let's do that. Okay, so let me reteach everyone how to do crows, and we're going to make it fast because we want to have as much time as we can for Mary. So a crow is basically the kind of the fun reasoning behind that word is just like a bird flapping its wings. Here I am flapping the wings. And so that's what you do when you crow, but it is not story time. It is not overcoming obstacles time. I was feeling down and then I brought myself, no. It's straight to the great, right? So Vera, you started off one. Are you able to unmute really quick and just go straight to the great like what you told us? No stories, how many new customers, what you sold, and then we get to celebrate, and then we'll just do it like popcorn. You guys can unmute and crow.
I got, mine is that I got 2 new customers in the last 2 days, and between the 2 of them, they were a little over $300 in sales.
Woo! That's exactly how you crow. Thank you, Vera. That is super, super exciting. So, all right. So how about what we're going to do is you unmute. Everyone can see who's muted and unmuted. So you just kind of unmute as you want to go. Angie's next.
Did you say Angie's next?
I did.
That part. This was my 3rd week in a row of consistent chats, sharing the opportunity with people, and it's felt good.
Yay. That's awesome. Kim, did you unmute? Oh no, she's off. Not on audio.
Okay, I'll go.
Go ahead, Shay.
That was Katie.
Oh, Katie, sorry.
Okay. So I just launched my 2nd beauty box today, and I've gotten good response so far. So I'm excited to kind of keep moving with the beauty boxes. So
Awesome. Katie's doing beauty box subscriptions. Woo-hoo! Love
That
it.
is exciting. I did a 967 week, and that was from just reaching out to my customer base already. And I did 3 clinical solutions, 1 being my mom and 2 being customers.
Oh my gosh, almost $1,000 a week. Woo-hoo! I know Corbie's super excited. That's awesome.
There was something else there, Shaylin. Right? Yeah, I did a last minute
your-
birthday challenge.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I gotta do something fun for my birthday to make it fun. So I was turning 38 on the 24th. So I told them in a couple days after that, if you sell 38 items between now and the end of the month, I made it harder, between now and the end of the month, and place a corresponding wholesale order for whatever amount to replace those, you win a prize from me. So yay! You wanna see your prize? My favorite mug.
Aw.
I can't read it, but okay.
Wake up and makeup. It's as big as my head.
Cool. Yay, Shay, for doing the birthday challenge. Y'all, it's one challenge to the next. That's how we build our business, that's for sure. So, all right, anyone else? You got to pop quick for popcorn. Crows.
I had a sale for the first time in months, and it was a clinical solution. Whoop, whoop.
Yay, Mallory. That's awesome. And just so you know, so Mallory is on Christina's team. I'm trying to think I should do intros. So Mallory's on Christina's team in the Richmond area. So, you know, and of course, you know, Shay, who else was just talking? And of course, you know, Angie, and you already met Vera on Corbie's team.
Katie.
And Katie, thank you. And Katie is on Kelly's team here where I am. So awesome. All right, anyone else? All right, we're gonna keep rocking and rolling. Okay, you guys, so Mary, our national sales director. Oh my gosh, you know what's so cool? Today, for the first time, I went on the InTouch website over to the Heritage tab. So go to the Heritage tab, not right now. And then there's Meet Your NSDs. And you can search for all the NSDs. And so I found Mary's page. I hadn't seen your page yet, Mary. I hadn't looked at it before, but it has her, like, her career highlights, her story. It's so fantastic. I posted on our Facebook group too, but that's where it came from. Everyone can have access to every national story. So Mary, I was so proud to be able to read. I mean, it still feels so new, like we're on a honeymoon. But of course, y'all know Mary's been a national for what, 7 months now, 7 months. So we're still in the honeymoon year. So take it away, Mary. The night is yours.
Well, thank you, Gina, and happy Love Month. Love your skin, love your Mary Kay business, love your life. And I found a quote from Mary Kay today on love. This is what she said. When you do something with your whole being, simply because you love to do it, you experience life as it should be lived. And you know, Mary Kay loved helping other women. And it was the secret to her success. She believed the more you enjoy your work, the more energy you will give it. And so I did want to talk a little bit about love tonight. You know, we go through stages. We absolutely are passionate in love with our business, and it flows along, and then something happens. And we kind of not so love it so much. And that's normal. But I'm going to share some tips with you on how to keep that love going and how to get it back if you feel the love is lost. And you know, I want you to do a few things for me, though. I know you've done some goal setting with Gina. I know she's amazing at doing that, but I would love to hear from you. So first of all, let me give you my texting number. It's 520-401-6578. This is what I'd love for you to do for me, okay? And you don't have to do it tonight. You may need to give this a little bit of thought. You know the difference between dreams and goals, right? And in just a second, I'll give you just an example of that. But the first thing that I want you to tell me is, what do you love most about your Mary Kay business? And not just right now. Think overall, however long you've been in the business, what do you love the most about your Mary Kay business? And then secondly, what is your big dream today? Not so much your goal. Yes, you might want a car, you might want to be a sales director, you might want to be a star consultant this quarter. That's a goal. Your dream is something that goes beyond your goal. In fact, your goal being achieved often results in that dream. So your big dream might be adding on to your house, remodeling your house, in the summertime, taking a vacation with your kids. It can be, your big dream is something that your Mary Kay business can take you to. So that's what I need from you, is your big dream today. The next thing I'd like from you, please, is what is your goal this year that takes you closer to your dream? What is your goal this year that takes you closer to your dream? And then the last question is, what are the smaller accomplishments you want to achieve in the next 5 months in order to reach this goal? So your big goal by the end of the seminar year, that's going to take you closer to your dream, and then the smaller accomplishments that you want to achieve in the next 5 months in order to reach this goal. And just a little tip on that, clinical solutions can be the answer to a lot of things, guys. You know, I don't think it's going to take a lot for you to think about the smaller accomplishments, because right now, clinical solutions, you know, you sell 30 sets of clinical solutions and you've got a star consultant order. 30 sets. That's it. So that's pretty exciting. So what is it that keeps your passion going? What is it? You know, oftentimes we pursue you all with, what is your reason for doing Mary Kay? What is your purpose? And sometimes you can't honestly answer that. And that's where Mary Kay's quote comes into play. Loving what you do is okay. It's okay to just love your business right now. Just loving selling, loving servicing your customers, loving the challenges that Gina gives you. That's okay, because eventually it will lead you to your purpose. You will find your purpose in Mary Kay. But sometimes you can't answer right away when we ask you what your purpose is. And that is okay, because off and on, all through my career, my purpose changed. You know, I had different purposes, and sometimes I felt like, what really is my purpose? But that didn't keep me from still loving what I do. And so there's four P words that I'd like you to write down. Okay, the first one is passion. Love, passion, they all basically, I feel, are the same word. I think passion takes love one step further. You know, it's the fire that burns within us to accomplish something. And getting your passion, really, it's something that inside of you never leaves. It's that push to keep going. It's that knowledge that whatever it was in the very beginning that made you say yes to Mary Kay just comes alive more from time to time. So oftentimes you have to go back and you have to ask yourself why you started Mary Kay in the first place and recapture that same excitement, that same enthusiasm that you had when you said yes. And here's another little exercise you can do. I encourage you to create a heartfelt I story. Have all of you ever created an I story? I bet Gina's had you do that, right? Okay, create an I story that incorporates your purpose right now. And even if you don't have a purpose, why you're doing Mary Kay maybe just for fun, that's okay. Your heartfelt story can be all about the fun you're having with your business, with this wonderful unit you're in, with your customers. So the next P is finding your purpose. And I think that the purpose often comes as a result of obedience to do your work. So if Gina throws out a challenge, run with it. Your heart doesn't have to be all in it, but if you'll just accept her challenge and do your best each week, you're going to find your passion come alive and you're going to find that purpose come forth. So just do the work, just do the work. It's no different than going to a 9-to-5 job, except that Mary Kay is a whole lot more fun. But if you went to a 9-to-5 job every single day, you find why you're there, don't you? I mean, for those of you that currently have a 9-to-5 job, whether it's teaching or whatever it may be, you don't always feel the love for it. But when you go in and day out, your purpose comes alive and you get passionate again about what you do. The next P is people. Your business begins and ends with people. Everyone in your space should feel valued and appreciated by you. And this is the month to do it. Send all of your customers a Valentine. They will love it. Some of them don't even get a Valentine from their husbands, and they get it from their Mary Kay consultant. They're going to be so excited. So, and they should believe you are loving every minute of your journey in Mary Kay. So you always want to put on that smile, and even if you're feeling down, your customers need to know that you enjoy your business. People will rally around your goal when you share your purpose. So this month, as you appreciate your customers, let them know what your goal is. They really do love to be part of that. So with those 4 P's that I've just shared with you, I would love for you to ask me some questions about, I didn't give you the 4th P. I'm sorry, I gave you 3. Products. Honestly, there's no better education than Mary Kay in Touch. Would you agree? Isn't that clinical solutions module fun? I love the little circles, clicking them on. I love the dialogues. I laughed and laughed over the dialogues. Getting the right dialogue when the questions were asked. That was just fun. So, have any of you ever heard some of the nationals that have been in since the early years say that the consultant's guide in the very beginning of Mary Kay said, basically, welcome consultant, good luck, and God bless. And that was the extent of the education. So they were basically on their own to learn and experience Mary Kay. And that's where, those pioneering nationals really did put this company together, along with, Mary Kay's dream. But it is so amazing that we have come so far, and we know we have the best products. Know your products. I teach the consultants in my unit to romance the products as they put them on their face every day. That keeps you skilled. So as you put on your cleanser, romance it. And if you have to go back and print off the product sheet on In Touch to do that, do it, because it does refresh your skill. And it helps you to realize too why you were so sold on that product. You forget what's in it, and then you start reading it again, and it's like, wow, this is a super duper product. And make sure that you get the new beauty books, and the profile card is changing over to the beauty profile, I think is what it's called. Am I correct, Gina? It changed its name. And so make sure you're up to date on the tools for your customers as well. So with these P's mentioned, I mentioned purpose, I mentioned passion, I mentioned products, and then the process. It's your daily routine that will determine the outcome of your goals. And that's why I share with you, even if you're not feeling it, even if you're not loving it, do something for your business every day. Consistently booking, selling, team building is the only way you can progress in your business. It's a process. So make a commitment right now to just do it. And I always have loved the formula of 3 + 3 + 3 equals success. You know, your 3 selling appointments, your $300 in sales, and 3 team building appointments every week. That's a good guideline. So if you don't currently have a weekly goal, that gives you something to start with. So Gina, I know you had a question for me.
I do, and I want to recognize Corbie and her unit too, because I know Mary's saying Gina, but just so you know, the umbrella of all of us. You know what I'm saying? And I know you know that, Mary, but I just want to recognize Corbie and her.
Absolutely.
So yes,
yes,
for sure. So my question,
Gina is your future national. You guys see her there? She is your future national.
Can I ask you? Can I ask you to please repeat that number because I did not get it? That you want us to text to.
It's in the chat room. So open up your chat, Vera, and her number's in there.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so the first question I would say is, hold on, let's see. I want to make sure, can y'all see? I don't know what's big on y'all's view. So, okay, would be when you talked about passion going up and down, or love, when you lose the love kind of thing. So one, maybe tell us how long you've been building your career. So Shirley, in the times that you kind of lost the love, I have a 2-part question. What did you do to keep on keeping on, even though the love wasn't there, or the passion and the fire? And then the second part of that is, why do you think you even called on what you did? You know what I mean? Because even to call on, oh, I'm going to do this to keep going, I feel there's got to be like a why. Why did you even think that you wanted to do that? Does that make sense?
Well, first of all, I don't quit anything. Okay. When I start something, I don't know. I've always been one to follow through on it. And when I started Mary Kay 38 years ago in February, you guys, this is my anniversary month. 38 years. Some of you aren't even that old. So, 38 years of doing something, to still love it as much as I do, I think that says a lot about our company. I really do. I just knew when I started Mary Kay that it was directed by God to do this. I really felt that. I had so many signs that pointed that I was making the right decision. So that's why I say, go back to the beginning. That feeling that you had when you said yes, and think about the circumstances around it. Because again, and Gina, I am going to allude back to you simply because I was part of when you started. So Corbie, yes, I recognize you definitely. You were a super director, and I'm so excited about your month last month. I sent her a Voxer and congratulated her. What an awesome month. But Gina, I was part of you saying yes. And you have to admit, when you said yes, that was definitely meant to be. The whole circumstances of how you came into Mary Kay was meant to be. So when you all look at that very moment you started, there was a reason. And so you always have to go back to that. When you're not feeling it or not loving it, you have to go back to, okay, I know I was meant to do this. I know there will be trials and tribulations. I will just get through them. It's like anything we do in life. We can't just quit being moms. We can't just quit being wives. We can't just quit our jobs. I mean, normally we don't just quit a job just because one day we don't like it anymore. Most of the time there's some responsibility there that we feel we have to keep going. And I just felt a responsibility to keep going in Mary Kay. I knew that I was meant to do this. And yes, I did. I had my ups and downs. I'll be very honest about that. I do love what I do, but I've had ups and downs. And I always found it helpful to do a pros and cons list. Draw that line right down the center of a piece of paper. Maybe you haven't done this in a while. On one side, all the reasons why you love your Mary Kay business and what it's done for you. And on the other side, the reasons that, you're not enjoying it right now. I can almost promise you those pros are going to far outweigh those cons. So when we just have a few customers that suddenly, aren't customers anymore, or a prospective team member that says no, we have to realize that it just is not enough to quit this business over, because I've had far more no's than all of you. And Gina and Corbie both, I'm sure, have had bigger skincare classes than me. I think Gina and Corbie probably have more customers than me. So you see, we can't compare ourselves. We can't think that there's a certain way you have to be before you can reach success. We all just have to come to this table with our own skills, our own talents, our own capabilities, and give it our best. And God can use us through those. And don't compare. As you heard everybody crowing, don't sit there and think, oh gosh, I didn't have anything this week. Instead, be inspired by it. You can do it, even during these times. And with clinical solutions, you can do it. Gina, did that answer the question? You're muted. Gina, you're muted.
Could y'all read my lips? That was a test. Do you know how to read lips? I was saying that's so good, Mary.
Gina, you and that mute button are having issues today.
Yes, mute is not my friend tonight. Oh gosh. Okay, who else wants to? Is that okay, Mary, to open it up to questions? All right, this is the point where I said we don't want just staring faces. Y'all said you were going to prepare questions.
You took my question, so.
All right, so I have one. I do really good, as Shay will tell you, because she's the one that got me into this. I do really good with customer service, and I'm really good with the customer part, but I'm not really good with the sharing and the team member part. And I want to know how to learn how to get better at that. I guess that would be part of my goal, but I don't know where to start.
That's a very good
Because that's very difficult for me.
Well, for starters, you have customers, and good customer service is the key to everything. It's from good customer service that this will propel your business towards team building, if that's a choice you make. But, your customers, it's so funny because, I have customers that have been with me since day one. That's pretty exciting. 38 years they've been my customer. And you would think, well, gosh, Mary, over that period of time, why didn't they decide they wanted to do the business? Well, I would say that Mary Kay is for everybody, but everybody is not for Mary Kay. And so those customers that chose never to do the business, that's perfectly fine. But Vera, eventually you'll want to approach all of your customers with some kind of a challenge you've been given. And first of all, you all have permission from me right now that you're in a challenge from your national sales director all the time. So whatever you want to tell your customers, my national has challenged me to do this. I just now have done that. Okay. So you can even, Vera, you can even say to your customers, you can say, I've been challenged during February because it is our love month. To love my customers and to love them so much that I would be remiss if I didn't offer them the Mary Kay opportunity. And I would love for you just to listen to why I love my Mary Kay so much, and set that up with Corbie. Set up a time that you can talk with your customers with Corbie. I don't know, do you all do a unit-wide marketing event? Gina, do you unmute yourself?
Actually, I'm in the works of setting up something for February, knowing that we want to share the love. So yeah, we will definitely.
Okay, so that would be an opportunity for you to invite your customers just to listen And tell them that part of your training is to learn to share what Mary Kay has to offer to your customers, and that they can be part of your training by jumping on this event or a phone call, whatever it is that you all will be doing. And if your customers, good customer, that's why good customer service is so important. When you go to your customers with a challenge, they want to help you because they like you so much. You give them such great service. You're there with the products when they need them. You give them little goodies. You thank them. You send them a Valentine. They want to be part of your success, and they will help you. Now, whether they say yes to the business or not, we won't know that. But the only way you can get them to listen is to tell them you're in a special challenge. You're in your training to learn how to present the Mary Kay marketing plan. Would they help you out by jumping on this Zoom or this phone call that you have set up with Corbie? And so, that's a start. Also, I would encourage you all to order the new team building literature. Again, that may not be available until the 10th or the 15th, but there are some new pieces coming out. You can order what's currently available on section 2 and put these in your reorder bags. From time to time, stick a piece of team building literature in a reorder bag so your customers can read, and kind of keep track of when you do that, because obviously every time they reorder, you don't want to put something in their bag, but seasons change with people, and you may put a piece of team building literature in a bag today and you might not get any response, but you might put it in again in March and they call you and say, you know what, I've been thinking about doing this. And then when you do invite them to something, they're primed for that. And I know we all have personal testimonies to that effect of people we've approached the first time that said no to us, but then we approached them again and they said yes. I even had a lady once that did not remember sitting across the table from me during a marketing plan. I took her to coffee when she was a brand new customer of mine and shared the opportunity. 10 years later, I presented it to her again and she said yes. We went to coffee and I said, deja vu, do you remember this? She said no. And it's because it wasn't her season. She really wasn't ready for it. But the idea is that just because somebody may say no the first time doesn't mean they'll always say no. And I think you all probably have people you could go to this month and offer the business opportunity, especially with clinical solutions.
Mary,
so Vera, I hope that answered your question.
That was definitely great, Mary. I was going to say, and it reminded me of, I remember this was probably over a decade ago, but you mentioned just sliding team building literature in there. I mean, that's such a simple little thing. Just like Cindy talks about scattering lookbooks all over the place. You just scatter all the seeds and see what hits. But I remember the story that you put the paper agreements already signed by you. And one day she went to her unit list and there was a new consultant in her unit because they had taken that agreement, said yes to themselves, filled it out, mailed it in. It already had Mary's signature on it. And so she had a new consultant. That is the coolest story. I'll never forget that. So, okay. And I know Christina had a question. We're going to keep rolling through. So Christina, did you want to share yours?
So you took my question. That was a question I had.
What was your question? That's so funny.
Just how, Mary, you've got a great long history with Mary Kay and ups and downs and goals missed, and how do you keep going, I guess? It's basically the same thing that Gina asked, but just
Well, Christine, I do want to add just a little bit more to that. Gosh, there were times like at seminar when, some of my offspring directors went to the party and I didn't. There were times when Carmen Felix, who is my first offspring sales director and personal team member, won a Cadillac and I was in the Grand Am at that time. I just always felt like, rather than be, well, why isn't it me? I always felt like, what can I learn from her? I was always trying to learn, to emulate, to find the things that I felt others were successful with. What was it about them that got them where they were? So that's why I say never compare. You just can't do that. Instead, be inspired by, learn from, and ask people questions. That's why I wanted this to be a question and answer night, because it's through asking questions and finding out how people work and how they thought and what kept them going, that you too can be inspired to keep it going. And so, Christina, I wasn't, and it's so funny because I recently told Cindy, I was never a superstar. I did not do a top trip. My husband and I did win a trip one year for $500,000, but I never did a top trip. But you know what? If I waited around to feel like I had to do the top trip to be a national sales director, I would have beat myself up. It just didn't happen. However, my dream of becoming a national sales director was always there. And so I always felt like as long as I was doing the work, what Mary Kay asked of me to do, that I was skilled at what I did, that's all that would be required for the next step. And so I just want you all to know that, because sometimes you look at people and you think they always won something, or they were always in a pink Cadillac, or they were always in a unit club, or they were always on the National Court of Sales. That is just not so. And, I don't think you have to beat yourself up when you fall short of your goals. Just keep at it. Just keep at it. Be skilled, do the best you can with all the trainings that are offered, and just find the love, because that truly is, I feel, what has kept me going and what has attracted people to me. They know how much I love my business.
Yay. Thank you for adding on. That's always good. So never be afraid to ask the question again, right, Christina? You never know. It might spark something else. I know, Katie, you said you were going to think of a question too. Did you come up with one?
Yes. So I was just thinking, so what does a typical day as an NSD look like?
Oh, that's fun. Well, you know what? It's very much like what it was to get to NSD. My position has changed a bit more because now I work more with my offspring sales directors in my area than I actually do with my consultants. But I still have a unit, Katie. I still am a director of a unit. So the unit that got me to national, I still have. And so I still do a lot of communicating with the consultants in my unit. I do trainings. I have customers. I still have a customer base. I love the clinical solutions. And my goal is to get every single customer on clinical solutions. So I still do consultant work added into national work, which is with my directors. But I love all of it. I love my customer service. I don't want to ever give that up. And so I do find the time. I'm a good planner. In fact, I know that you've heard about strength finders. Has everybody done strength finders? One of mine is strategic. And so I do plan. I do use the 6 most important things list. I use my calendar. I have, a notebook I work from with, little reminders in it. And I just feel like that's the key to success, is to plan your day. But as a consultant, the most important thing for you all right now is customers. Get your customer base built up, because from that you'll have the prospects to team build if that's your choice. And sales can definitely result in that dream that we talked about in the beginning coming about. My sister was a consultant with me for many, many years before she became a sales director. And every year she did the National Court of Sales, and she made a lot of money just from her sales. So I feel like customers and customer service right now is the most important part of the business.
Can I do a part B of Katie's question? That was a good question, Katie. So, okay, so I think it's interesting because you almost kind of feel like, oh, when I get to a position, everything's going to change, so you're like, it's the same. But so I'm going to do, since it's the love part, what about the new position? like either surprised you or made you go, oh my gosh, because you're living your dream. So what part are you like, I love this part that makes it either different or a surprise?
Well, Gina, I shared with you that I wanted to be in Nashville from the day I started Mary Kay. I saw the nationals in a book I read, and I thought, wow, that's the highest position. I want to be that. So I actually journaled from day one about what it would look like when I became a national, and I wrote down ideas of things I'd like to do. So I have to say that that's what I love. Gina, is this where you wanted me to go with this? What I love most now about being a national is all those things I dreamed about when I would become a national. I just love my directors. I love my directors. I feel like the directors in my area are my family. I feel like they are handpicked by God. I truly do. I feel like they are the most amazing. And, you will hear national say, oh, I have the best area. And of course, Cindy feels she's got the best victory family, which is all of you. And I feel that way. I truly feel that way. So I love the director part. I love working with my directors. I love, they get little gifts every month from me. I just love working with them. So is that answering, Gina, what the question that you
Yeah,
had?
it was not a preloaded question at all. I was very
Okay.
curious.
Okay. The directors right now. And I love all the consultants in my area too. I absolutely do. But working with the directors more closely is definitely what I wanted to do all along. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I see Jenny's unmuted.
Well, I was thinking before you had asked that, but something kind of along those lines. Mary, when was the best time of your business? Like what year and why? Or
Oh
decade?
gosh. I don't know, Jenny. I'm sorry I can't really answer that. Because as I said, I've always really loved what I do. There were some years when things came together better than others, but even honestly, I can't say those were necessarily better years. Learning years, years when I maybe wasn't doing as well. I had much more appreciation of what Mary Kay had to give us. I think that sometimes when we're at the high point, we don't really see everything like we do when we're in the middle of the growth to get to the high point. I don't, Jenny, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too deep on this. But this last year, the year running for national, was definitely the highlight. Definitely the highlight. Because I can't even remember the details. I did journal it, but it was a whirlwind year. And I don't know if you all could feel it on the East Coast, but you knew we were becoming a national area, right? Corbie and Gina, you all knew we were in the middle of qualifying as a new national area. And it felt like a big wave. It felt like a movement. It felt like we were all caught up in this wave that was going to push through no matter what. And so that definitely was the highlight. The year qualifying as a national. So, and you guys will all get to that point soon too. And then you'll be part of creating history. We were the 420th national area. In all the years of Mary Kay, we were number 420. And our senior national sales director, Jackie Swank, was number 100. So that just kind of shows you the numbers, and it's just exciting to see how we came about and what number we were when we finished. That was my first question to the company. What number are we? So
I love that you asked a number question.
Yes, Gina. Yeah.
Andy
I'm a numbers girl.
Too. Okay, I thought of another question. Delta, if you unmute when it looks like the question, the answer is wrapping up, then I'll know to intro you. I think this goes along with the theme of love, because we have to, you love yourself first, you lead self to lead others. And the more you love who you are, you can be who you are, right? And bless other people. So you mentioned one of your top 5 strengths is strategic. What are your top 5?
First one is empathy, strategy, and then connection. Those are my top 3. And I didn't go into the 5. I felt like top 3, you know, we can feel like there's so many strengths. We don't really know what our top ones are. So empathy, strategy, strategic, and then connectedness. Mm-hmm.
I love
Does
that you
that
have a
surprise
strategy
you?
to only know your top 3. That's your strategic.
Yes. But you know what? Some of my directors were surprised at was the empathy part. Now, empathy, you know, and I noticed that when we were at our San Antonio leadership, that there were no other directors with empathy as number 1. So, you know, when I think about empathy, I think that it's Mary Kay that has made me that. I don't know that I always would have had empathy as my number 1 strength. I think working with people is one of the greatest gifts we have. It truly is. Learning about people, learning, you know, what makes them tick, and what is it that, you know, what is it about them? Knowing more about others helps us to be better.
I would actually say that, I mean, really the strengths training it is who you are, it's part of your DNA, but I think it's the Mary Kay that made it to your strength, because it started off as talent, right? It started off as like in us, but because you were in an environment that allowed that to get so strong, that's why you thrive, which is so good, because I know there's people in our areas that have empathy in their top 5. I think there's actually quite a number. I think if I remember them. So I think that's pretty cool that they know that that's your number 1. That's cool. Corbie, were you going to ask something? I saw you unmuted.
Yeah, I was curious. Do you know how many nationals there are in the company right now, Mary? Because last I heard it was like around 180, around 180.
Yeah, it's about 170, I think. Yeah. We had a national Zoom this morning, and for the entire national, all the nationals in Mary Kay, and there were 166 of us on the Zoom. So I think it's about 170 right now. Mm-hmm. And many of them are retiring. So that's why we definitely need nationals rising up to the position. That's something definitely, you know, if that's even in the furthest back corners of your mind, you know, don't let it go, because the national position is truly one that Mary Kay created that position. She wanted that position because she felt when she was no longer with the company that it would be the nationals that would keep her dream alive. And so it's a very important position, and we do need people that choose to work for that position, for sure.
Awesome. I saw 2 people unmuted. I think Shay and Mallory did at one point. Did y'all want to say something?
I just had a quick question. What color is on your lips? It's gorgeous.
You know what? Do you guys, have any of you started using the new At Play matte lipsticks? I can't tell you which one this is. It's the dark burgundy color one. I'm sorry, I don't know the name. But in the 3, there's 2 boxes, and this is the dark one of the 3. Mm-hmm. I love the matte. Yes. Thank you, Gina.
Fabulous.
Thank
Very
you.
strong. It's from the Night Out kit, number 2.
That's right.
Yeah, I love them. I love the application. I love the price point. I like that they're matte. You can make them shiny with lip gloss if you want.
I love that. I even said when I advertised that you're going to be on, like, love. It's everything. You know what I mean? Like, what a broad category. I'm talking about loving a huge position in national and loving what's on my lips.
Well, I wanted to show you guys some things. And this is why I say, you know, I'm still very much about customer service. All of my skincare sets right now have the little love your skin tags on them. So that even if they order this for themselves, this is how it goes to them. It's gifted for the month of February. So, you know, you can get all these little things at dollar stores, and then you can print these up. I have them on my website under selling, the tags that you can print off on cardstock and attach to a bow. But like this is the miracle set. And then I have a satin hand set down here. So even my satin hand sets have a bow and a little love your skin tag. And they just love it. Your customers love to receive their products looking gifted. You know, if you package them up real pretty, it makes it so fun for them.
Hey, Mary, can your website is password protected. Shay asked about what it is.
This is my name. And then only part of it. The training part is Mountaintop Success, all lowercase, all one word, Mountaintop Success.
Okay, so I didn't type as fast as I could, but Mary's name ends in an E, just so y'all know that, marydurrer.com, right? And then Mountaintop Success is the password. Cool. All right. Any other question? I mean, like we'll have final thoughts and that Mary can wrap it up with, but does anyone want to throw in question? Shay.
I have a question. I have several questions, but I'll ask one.
You can ask one. We don't mind. We have Mary. We might keep her longer.
I guess I'll ask, well, did you ever meet Mary Kay Ash?
Yes. Oh my gosh. If you all buy the new book, the new version of Mary Kay on People Management, in the center of the book are some pictures. I am in one of those pictures right behind Mary Kay with my first husband, Doc, and my oldest son, who was only, how old would he have been? I can't do the math that quick, but he was not even a teenager yet. Mary Kay came, yes, there it is, yes. Mary Kay came to Fort Huachuca, 5 miles from where I live in Arizona during Desert Storm. That was 90. And she presented the troops with skincare. As they were going to war, she presented them with skincare to take. And at that time we had pink semis that our products were delivered in. Now it's all UPS, but at that time everything came in the pink semi. And the pink semi was parked on the parade field at Fort Huachuca. I took my kids out of school, my husband and I, even my parents were there for the presentation on the parade field. But it was, so I had the opportunity then, of course, to speak with Mary Kay. But I met her when I became a sales director. In the early years, you went to Dallas first before you became a sales director. You had to be a DIQ, and then you went to director's training, and then you came home and finished. And we went to Mary Kay's house, and we had refreshments with her. We got pictures with her. And then she came and did a training for us at headquarters. And then I, from off and on over the years, just at seminars, I had the opportunity to visit with her. And my very first seminar, before I had met Mary Kay, my husband actually went backstage to talk to her. He was so aggressive. My first husband was. They had the husbands go across stage for recognition, and he didn't go off the stage. He went right back where Mary Kay was, and just went right back there and, said, my wife is a new consultant. And of course, Mary Kay treated him just as nice as she could. It was like, all the men weren't going to do that. He was the only one that did that. Isn't that funny? So yeah, both my first husband and I met Mary Kay, and our kids met her. And
that was such a good question, Shay. Keep asking. I bet you got.
I'm giving some lengthy answers, you guys, but Gina said I was a good storyteller, and I'm telling you some stories.
So my second question is, why did you want to become a national?
I don't know. all part of the reason I said yes. I mean, it was like, this is what I was meant to do. Do any of you feel that way, that this is what you're meant to do? Okay, then that you have to keep pushing through, because there is a reason. There's a reason why you're doing this. And you may not know that right now, but I just saw the nationals and I just knew I wanted to be there. I guess I felt like that would be a position, a beautiful position to influence women, to make a difference for people. I think I saw that from day one. And that would go back to empathy, Gina. You know, it's part of our DNA, and it was developed through Mary Kay, definitely. But I think I just knew that it was a place that would be very positive and could make a big difference. So I never gave up the dream, even though it came right down to the wire. Boy, God
I could ask
sure
so
had
many
his
more
hand on
questions,
that.
but I could ask so many more questions. But my last question is, what's your next dream?
Oh my goodness. Well, my time is ticking away as a national. I have to retire in 4.5 years. And my next goal is to see nationals out of our area, because I know they're there. I want to see it before I retire. You know, even if it should happen after I retire, it's still amazing, but I want to see it before I retire. I want to see those women who really, really want to be nationals complete their goals. So personally, I still have, I still set selling goals, and I love all of that. But there's a lot of things that come automatically with a national position, like a new car every 2 years. Actually, it's every 3 years now. That automatically comes as a national. You get a new Cadillac every 3 years. And so there's a lot of things that automatically come now with this position that I no longer have to qualify for. But I love qualifying. I love the thrill. I love the thrill of winning. I love the thrill of working. So I do set selling goals. I ordered 30 sets of clinical solutions. My goal is to get them sold in the next 2 weeks. Yeah, I still feel like I would be rusty and no good to all of you if I didn't keep my finger in the pie as a consultant, as a sales director, and now as your national.
How are you going to track all that?
Well, I'm strategy. Yeah, I create my own little sheets, tracking sheets. I do my own thing with tracking sheets. Don't feel like you have to look through all of Facebook to find a tracking sheet. Just make one. It's nice to have them pre-made, and it's nice to find the ones that are professionally done, but just create a tracking sheet for yourself.
Not that you need my high five, but amen to that. I mean, all my tracking for clinical solutions is pages and pages in notebooks. I mean, you just grab a notebook and start writing stuff down for sure, right? So because my thing is on speaker view, and for the sake of the recording, I'm going to hold that up again so that you can see. Oh, it's kind of blurry. Will it focus? There it is.
Yeah.
It's only on.
Oh wait, but if you
It's only
talk
on speaker on your screen. If you spotlight yourself, then
I
you'll
know,
be
I'll pin
accessible to
myself.
everybody.
Okay, I know. I was just letting it go speaker view while everyone was, hold on. Hello, pin. Where did it go? There it is.
No, spotlight.
Oh, well, where it says spotlight for everyone? Oh,
You
when I
spotlight.
hit pin, was it not pinning her for you guys?
No, it's only for you. Spotlight
Oh.
is for everybody. There you go.
Thank you, Corbie.
You're
Cool.
very good.
Okay, so let's see if it'll,
Yes, that is me. You'll see a blonde woman, and then I'm right behind the blonde woman.
and
then
that's
that was
Doc
my
right behind
first
you.
husband. And then Corey is right between the man on the left and my husband. You see his little face? He's as tall as I am.
Oh, wait.
That was my oldest son, and my other son was there too, but he was a lot littler, so he's behind Corey somewhere. But yeah, I mean, that picture, it's just, that's amazing that is the one that the company used, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, because she was there for the troops. She was not there for Mary Kay. In fact, we didn't even know she was coming to Fort Huachuca. It was the wonderful graciousness of the general that was in command. His wife actually called me, and she said, I'm having a coffee for Mary Kay, and we would love to include all of Mary Kay's directors in that coffee. It wasn't, Mary Kay did not, it wasn't for us. It was for the troops. That's how wonderful she was. And it was not advertised. So, it was just wonderful that wonderful general's wife included us. And so we spent the whole day out at Fort Huachuca while Mary Kay was there, following her all around. It was great. Carmen was there for that too.
I feel like there's this is so old school, well past the years of some of the young people on the call, but what was it, Harvey something, and now you know the rest of the story? Is that how he used to end? And now you know. Oh my gosh, I had no idea that her visit was so humble, like that it wasn't advertised or.
Gina, that's exactly how you say it. And now you know the rest of the story. So there's somebody old enough to know that one.
That is so awesome. Oh my gosh. I mean, we're only a few minutes after 8. I mean, really, Shay, I love that you just like spit out the questions one after. Those were so good. We were like so blessed by the answers to those questions. So I'm so glad that you asked them. So good. I mean, it's not like we can't have Mary back. That's for sure.
Well, I love being on here with you. I do. It's so great to see you all, to spend time with you.
I agree. It is so awesome. Well, Mary, we love having you as a national. It's just, it's so cool. I will say, I think it's such a blessing to also see the differences, when you've only seen Cindy, because I never had Jackie as a national, and Jackie and Cindy are night and day, but even though I know Jackie is so different from Cindy, I never saw her in action as a leader, right? Because when I came in, Cindy, actually, she debuted anyway, at the same time that I was coming up and all that. But so to see the differences, I mean, I think it's just you can hear it all day long, but to live it is another thing, to live someone working in their strengths and being a recipient of it, your gifts that you give every month, and y'all know I'm passing it on to the Reds, right? Like the Reds get a gift every month because it makes it just the special things that we all do. We got to be us. We got to be us, and that's where the fun is and the love. If we stick with our theme, then we love what we do. So do you want to end with anything? I feel like you need to be the person ending it all.
Well, there's really nothing more that I have to say. I do want you all to know that I would love to hear from you individually. And don't ever think that, oh gosh, Mary's, working with her customers, she's working with her director, she's too busy. I'm not. I would love to hear from you. I just feel like you're loved by Gina, you're loved by Corbie, you always have them, and they'll always give you wonderful wisdom and guidance. And I'd love to just hear from you too. So stay in touch with me. It's great to be part of all of you. National is not a figurehead. It's a position where we still are very much involved in our areas and, in the trainings and the education, the inspiration, all of that. We want to be part of all of that. So please reach out to me anytime you feel led to.
I love it. And thank you for all the people who asked questions. They were all fantastic questions. So
yes, thank you very much. Great questions.
Thank you. And I wrote down all the questions that you want texted back to you. So if anyone didn't write those down, Corbie and I can share those with everyone. So
great.
Yay. Well, thank you again, Mary. We loved it. We loved it.
Well, thank you everybody for being on this evening. Woohoo.
All right, y'all. Wave. Bye.
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 Thanks, Terry.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.